think you're an abysmal winner.
Waiting for a Jackie crash.
Jackie crash.
No Twitter, no Facebook, no Instagram. I'm busy reading books and planning a revolution.
Jackie crash on the road.
Dear Mr. Crash, here is your ticket to business class.
What's your favorite meal or favorite food, and how you cook?
I don't get to cook a lot on the road because there's just kind of nowhere to cook. But when I'm at home, I love to cook. We try to cook vegetarian a lot. We try to be really conscious of the suffering all over the world, not just with humans. But I love to cook different types of cuisine. I like to cook Indian food, Malaysian. We like to cook laksa, which is like a coconut-based soup. It's really nice. But then we like to cook like root vegetables, like a grandmama's roast, like Sunday dinner as well.
You like Lebanon food or Asia food?
Lebanese food's great, yeah. Have you ever tried Ethiopian food? Wonderful little sponge bread. It's nice.
I love to eat with my hands.
Yeah, me too.
What about drinks?
I'm an alcoholic, so when I do drink, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 45 later. In Australia, we really love the bitters, lemon lime bitters, or also I love ginger beer.
Ginger beer?
But I'm a totalitarian man. I'm a teetotaler, so I don't drink.
And your last book?
I read a great biography on Che Guevara. You know Che?
Yeah. Good.
Yes.
Are you buying books or are you just changing the book with the friends?
I buy books when I can, but then whenever I have the chance to give them away. But I just had a daughter. Her name's Cleopatra Rose. She's she's a little anarchist angel. And so hopefully when she grows up, she can read all the books there.
And are you reading her fairy tales?
I read her the Communist Manifesto.
If you donate something...
Yeah, we donate a lot of money to a lot of aid refugees, the Syrian refugees. We sponsor some kids from Africa. We really try to give back and donate as much as we can. There's a internet news called Democracy Now, and I try to donate to them monthly.
Where do you live? You have a flat or you have a private house?
A little apartment in Sydney, Australia.
Are you surfing?
I'm terrible. I try.
And do you like some sports? Or
my favorite sport is probably reading.
Reading?
Yeah.
And are you reading on the beach?
Always, yeah.
It's during the evenings. It's best, just take a book.
So nice.
Can you imagine that you will change a book for Kindle or for iPad?
I read both. I like to handle a physical book, but right now, even right before you came up, I'm reading this new Stephen King, Mr. Mercedes.
That's good, man.
Just on my phone.
Okay.
So I do both.
Yeah, but I think the paper is more cool and just to turn the pages.
I like to fold the pages. Yeah. I like to make notes.
Yeah.
And then when I'm done, like I said, that book, 20 years from now, maybe my daughter will read that book and look at what I wrote. Or it's still just such a connection to smell it.
Same with my parents, which just gave me the books from their young years.
Yeah. It's just like vinyl, listening to records. I mean, we all will listen to computer music and digital music, but there's nothing like putting on a record.
Maybe the good question right now is, what do you think about Spotify and iTunes?
I really, really want to give music to the people. I think that music is already free. It's been free for a really long time, and so I encourage our fans to listen to it. Listen to it for free, wherever you can get it. I mean, Spotify's never going to pay the artist what it's worth. It's just another big business for rich people to get more rich. I think there's more important things to focus on. I think music should be free.
And if some guy will come to you and tell you, okay, hi Bert, I just downloaded your last album from Rapid Share, you will be okay?
I love it.
You love it?
Yeah, why not?
I love this opinion.
Music's free.
Yeah.
It's for the people.
Last record you heard in your iPhone, iPod?
Lately I've been listening to Aladdin Sane, David Bowie. I really love David Bowie.
Me too.
I really love the Rolling Stones.
That old stuff?
Yeah, a lot of old stuff.
So that UK music, do you like Queen, for example?
Love Queen. Love Queen. I love Cat Stevens, even though he's fucking radical Islam.
And what do you think about Bob Dylan?
Love Bob Dylan.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really appreciate the philosophical approach.
It's more than music,
Yeah.
I like all the artists which are not just the nice songs and nice melody, but there's something more inside. You have to think about the songs, you have to read the lyrics, and then you will just found this secret chamber, which is inside the music.
Music used to be a weapon.
Yeah.
to shape society. That's exactly where we're coming from with this new record, Imaginary Enemy. We love the music from the late 60s, early 70s that was like, it had a purpose. It was trying to address injustices, especially in the United States with the black rights, civil rights movements happening. And so there's a lot of disparities in the world right now. There's a lot of really fucked up things going on. If we can change the world with a song, beautiful.
And what was your big disappointing in the music? Let's say in the last year or last.
I try not to pay attention to the pop culture garbage. You know, the music that is misogynistic or disrespectful to women. The music that's about greed and power and money. That's not music. It is, but
it's product.
Yeah, it's product. Exactly, it's commodity.
You've been in the major, in the beginning. You come to independent Hopeless Records. Are you more satisfied? Right
I
now?
think that you know, initially starting with the major, we were told a lot of lies. You know, we were told that we could have 100% creative freedom with the band. We were told that anything we wanted to accomplish, anything we wanted to do was okay, and then that was all lies. You know, so Hopeless is we actually have our own record label called Gas Union, and we use Hopeless for the distribution of the record. And they're activists. They really, really care, and they do a lot for charity and philanthropic work. So the last movie I watched all the way through was Nymphomaniac, Volume 1 and 2. You've heard of this movie? Oh man, such a crazy director.
Lars von Trier.
Yeah, Lars von Trier.
Yeah.
He did Antichrist and Melancholia. Yeah, he's fantastic. Yeah, that movie, Nymphomaniac, is mind-blowing. A couple other good movies. There's a documentary called The Square, and it's about the revolution in Egypt since 2010, with the takedown of Morsi and Mubarak. It's kind of natural for human beings to have people to look up to, and Noam Chomsky has been a huge influence on my life, and his ideas on humanitarian anarchism and how people can come together without a state, and we don't need the state, you know, dictating what we do. I'm more on the side of maybe Karl Marx and Engels, and there's some really, really important ideas about egalitarian life, about how people can be more equal, and there should be less injustice and less. I think that fits hand in hand with punk rock music. I think that's what punk rock music is initially all about, approaching and addressing injustice in the world. I mean, there's been no real true practice of utopian communism or of Marxism. I mean, we've always had people who have pushed these ideas have conducted dictatorial rule, fascism, and that's nothing what Karl Marx talked about, or Adam Smith, or Frederick Engels, or any of these political scientists or philosophers who knew the truth about the world. You know, you always get a few. I think society has always been, since the Neolithic age, a battle of rich people versus poor people, and it will always be that way. But there's always a lot more poor people than rich people. Well, I understand that, you know, a lot of eastern Ukraine is Russian. I'm sympathetic to both sides, but I understand that Russians don't want to talk about it, and they don't want to be filmed because they know what they're doing is wrong. Well, they did vote the referendum, but at the same time, it was a gift from Khrushchev. 52 or 54. I don't ever want to stand with the Western world. You know, my own opinion is that if the people want to be Russian, I want to say that they should have the right to vote, and they should have. But I think that there's a bigger picture going on, and I think Russia has ulterior motives.
And are you afraid from the war?
I think everybody should be. When it comes to nationalism, it's never a good thing. I think that human beings should be able to accept that we're all part of the big world. But at the same time, I don't think that the people of Ukraine want a war. I don't think the people of Kiev want a war. Even the separatists and peoples of Donetsk Republic, they've tried to create their own state or country inside Ukraine. But it's all a bigger picture for Russian nationalists. And I don't think that it's not a good time. But I don't really know that the U.S. has a stance on Ukraine. I do believe that the initial overthrow of the government was partly at fault because of U.S. mercenaries. I think that they had a lot to do because they were shooting both at Ukrainian protesters and they were shooting at the Russian separatists. So I like to watch Vice News. Do you know Vice? Yeah, they have they have a 46-part documentary right now called Russian Roulette, and it's on the Ukraine crisis. And I think they're telling the truth. There will always be a planned out reality from major news. Major media is just like big business. They are trying to maximize profit. So they are selling us to advertisers. And that's the bottom line. So for them to get us to buy or continue to watch, they have to present a view of the world that we like. And so they're never going to tell the truth. It's all manufactured consent. There's a Noam Chomsky movie called Manufactured Consent. And it's all about how mainstream media has to be a picture that we approve or we will go at the powers that be's necks. True change comes through information. And to be informed, there's a famous Brazilian revolutionary named Paulo Freire. And he wrote a book called Pedagogy of the Oppressed. And it's just pretty much says that once you teach the people who they are and who is oppressing them, there will be inevitable revolution. We need to formulate our own opinions. We need to look to resources like Vice News that are telling the truth. We need to read these people's blogs from Ukraine, from Kiev, from Lugansk, from Donetsk, and really figure out what the people want. And it has nothing to do with America. America should stay out of it. You know, it's a different part of the world, and really, personal freedom is much more important than stability.
Yeah, so I live in Cuba.
Castro is one of my personal heroes. I mean, nobody, and to think of what he's done since the 50s. You know, that revolution succeeded.
On one side, the people are poor, but on the other side, they are more rich than all of us because they are happy and they love each other and they are great.
I'm so glad you said that, man.
When I met the people and we slept in their houses and we shared the food with them, it was so cool.
That's awesome.
It was, I cannot tell you how much emotional it was.
That's what, in my opinion, that's what true Marxism is all about. The only reason why we need a system to begin with is for healthcare and education. Those are the only things we need. I mean, and for a little bit of protection against, there'll always be crazy people that try to hurt other people. But Fidel Castro stood his ground, and the one thing that's cool about Cuba, they've never attacked the United States. Although the United States has been attacking them since the early 60s. It's fucked up. So they've tried to assassinate Fidel Castro over 600 times.
Where the hell is Jackie Crash?
Wake up, Jackie.
Hi, Jackie Crash.